So yesterday when I was trying to make the communication, right, via the redundant interface. So we were having the issue and we tried to fix those issues, but somehow we not able to fix that. So what I was doing the mistake from switch end, that was a silly mistake. So I need to fix those mistakes. Let me open first. So just after your class, I realized that I was doing some silly mistakes, and because of that, I was not able to ping. But what is that mistake? That you must have to know that. So let me go there. And I was in the interfaces. So we are talking about the redundant, and I was trying to create the interface, right? And that was not able to ping. So very interesting thing, guys, and you have to be always careful while doing this kind of troubleshooting, which I was overlooked, and I just forgot to mention that. And I was thinking, yes, I
Good
was.
evening.
Good evening, Nashad. Right, we just started. Okay, so we just
Okay, sir.
this IP address is started, right, and we log into this firewall. And after logging, I was trying to just do some configuration and do the ping test, but ping was not working. So the most important, we have to understand why this was not working and where was the issue. So issue was not with the firewall side, right? So I was still have, you can see, I can create the VLAN 10, I can assign the IP address with the same interface, what I just did yesterday. Only problem you can see when I am just going to create the VLAN, right? I'm using the 802.1q. This is the trunking protocol, right? This is the most important. So in switch end side also, I have to use the same protocols, right? It's not put with the access port, should be the trunk port. Then only it is going to work. Because if I'm doing the tag one end with trunk tag, another end also should be the trunk tag on this port. It should not like be the untrunk port. So this was the reason we not changing the trunk port configuration yesterday, and this was the reason it was not working. But once I change the trunk port, it is start working for me. So let me show you how it is going to look like. So I'll go in the switch again here, and this is my switch, and I simply let me go here, and I will go on the configuration of the port, these two port 0 by 0 and 0 by 1. So I'll go in this way, interface range, gig 0 by 0 to 1. These two port I'm going to configure one go. So the first command, switch port trunk encapsulation .1q. You have to enable .1q configuration on this port and switch port mode trunk, right? And switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10. Because we created the VLAN 10 and we not did any configuration on this port. And this was the reason it was not working correctly. This was the reason. So if I go again here and if I try to check that, let me show you. Show VLAN brief. So you are going to find this VLAN 10 has been configured on these ports 0 by 2. And this 0 by 2 is connected to this PC, that is access port, but 0 by 1 and 0 by 0. If you run the command show interface trunk, these two ports are connected on the .12 trunking, the same protocol where the FortiGate is using. See, 822.1q, right? Makes sense? Naushad, Pradeep, you guys understanding this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So because of this, the trunking was there, and here trunking was available, here trunking was not there, and this was the reason it was not pinging, and I just overlooked this configuration. Then I later realized that yes, I make some mistake. So now if I'm going from this PC, right? Let me open this PC, and if I check the show IP, this is going to be give the IP address, and if I try to ping, what IP address? The firewall IP address which is defined on this particular VLAN 10, and this VLAN 10 is a part of the redundant interface. So you can see this is a redundant interface port 2 and 3. So let me go here and ping 10.10.10.1 and see I'm able to ping. So now let's verify whether my redundant interface is working or not. So how can I verify? I simply go here and I will go into topologies. So as for the concept, even my any port is going to be down, my traffic is still keep talking to the firewall. Is it right? The same concept we understand. Pradeep Nosad, right?
Yes, sir. So my question is like switch in no need to configure like a desirable auto like that.
No. We
Means
just
trunk
enable the
you are enable
trunk. We just enable the trunk.
means normal enable trunk like
Yes, normal trunk. Open.
ISL and 80.2.1
We
queue
we
only for.
we enable the 802.1q trunking, not ISL, because ISL
Oh,
is not going to support between the FortiGate and Cisco. ISL is only for the Cisco. So we enable this dot one two q.
okay. But after dot one queue, not put it command like desirable auto. Then
That is
without the
something
desirable.
that is for the your ether channel protocols, desirable and auto. That not trunking protocol. That is for the ether channels. You know ether channel. So if you're
Yes,
going to
yes.
configure the ISL based ether channel, trunking ether channel, then it is going to be required.
Okay.
Negotiation.
Okay. For negotiation like ether channel when we
Yes,
need to
yes.
configure like.
Yeah, right. Here it is not going to require. So say it is a pinging.
So
So
it means yesterday issue like you not configure it means trunking enable in the switch
I
side.
just left this port as the access port. Na? This was the reason. This was not able to negotiate because this side
Oh,
was configuring the 802,
okay.
but here is a trunk. So tagging was not happening. And this was I make the mistakes. Firewall side, everything was good. That's why I keep checking why the firewall end up having an issue. But
Yes.
firewall end, everything was
Means
fine.
problem is switch side because not
Yes.
trunking enable like that.
Right. Turn on the switch side.
Okay.
So
Thank you,
now
sir.
let me, they say this ping is working. So if I off this one port, still my traffic should be not hampered, right? You both agree. So
Yes, sir.
let me stop. So one port is shut. Just one packet down and have the failover. Clear? But if I off the both port, then what is going to happen? Then my entire traffic is going to be dead. So I just off the another port and you can see I lost the entire traffic communication. Again, I just on the another port, the PH0 port 2, your traffic will start working from the another link. So this is how your redundant link is going to come in a picture, and with the help of redundant link, you can do this kind of the configuration, and you can do the different kind of the like failover scenario when it is available in your environment. Clear about the redundant? We are done.
Yes, sir.
Now the next thing we have to do the inter-VLAN routing. Okay. So let's understand how the inter-VLAN routing is going to happen in the FortiGate firewall. So we are trying to build the basic concept. So you might be know inter-VLAN routing. If I talk about this is a switch, can you guys give me 1 minute? Let me see. Somebody is standing in front of me. Let me see. Just give me 1 minute, guys.
प्रदीप जी आपने अपना लैब बना लिया है क्या मतलब लैब का एक्सेस
नहीं नहीं भाई।
ओके लैब के लिए भी पूछते हैं सर से कैसा क्या करने का है नहीं
नौशाक भाई कहाँ के रहने वाले हो आप?
मैं बिहार से हूँ बट रहता हूँ मुंबई में
करेंटली वर्किंग इन मुंबई?
क्या
कहाँ पे भी जॉब कर रहे हो आप?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm back. Okay.
ओके
You guys can talk later. Okay. So now
ओके।
let's discuss about the inter-VLAN routing. And in this inter-VLAN routing, we have to understand how the inter-VLAN routing is going to happen. So in the routing scenario, if I have to do the inter-VLAN routing, let's suppose this is my two PCs, PC1, PC2, this having a 10.10.10/24, this one having a 20/20/20/20/24, right? this is going to be connected on this switch, and this is my another switch, and this is router. Just think this is a layer 2 switch. So I have two different network here. One is 10 subnet, one is 20 subnet. So can I do the communication without router here? We cannot do that, right? Because layer 2 cannot able to make the communication between two different network. Makes sense, right, guys? So bata do yes no maybe.
Without router, it will not possible to communicate.
Yes, same thing I'm talking. Without router, layer 2 switch cannot do the routing communication now between
Yes.
these two pieces. So we require the third device, that is a layer 3 device.
Yes.
And that's why the router is here. So we have to extend the SVI through this trunk port, and we have here we have to create the sub interface. And with the help of sub interface, you have to use a trunking protocol, that is a .1q, right? And by using this 802.1q, we can make the communication through that router between these two devices can communicate. So packet will first hit to router, and then it will check the routing, and it will back to the again to the another PC. And this is how it is going to happen in the normal scenario. Same concept we have to go to use in the FortiGate firewall. We have the switch, but now I don't require two interface here. Let me use the just single interface here. Let me delete one. So I have the single interface, and I have to process two VLANs, VLAN 10 and 20 through this port, and then FortiGate, I have to create two sub interfaces or might be two different VLAN, and I have to pass on the single interface, and then I have to make this configuration, right? So let me do that the same scenario. So I'll go here and configure the IP 10.10.10.10/24 10.10.10.1. So this has been done. Now I'll go in the VPC 6 and IP 20.20.20.20, and the gateway would be 1. Okay. So if you check that, show IP, this is your IP and gateway address. If I just go here, show IP, your IP and gateway is there, right? Now let me go on the switch again. Switch is another component. So we have to do the configuration of the switch 1. First, I have to do the host name, and this is my switch 1. And I have to create two VLANs, VLAN 10 and 20, and I'll put the VLAN 0/VLAN 10 on this port 0/2, and VLAN 10 on this port 0/3. So how can I do that? I simply go here and I run the command VLAN 10, and name I can use for the, just leave it name not required. And I also create the VLAN 20. Two VLAN has been created. So if I just go here, do show VLAN brief, you are going to see these two VLAN has been created, but there is no interface has been assigned. So I'll go and assign the interface, that is 0/2 here. So interface gig 0/2, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10, right? Another interface I have 0/3. So I'll go on the interface gig 0/3 and switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. So if you now see that show VLAN, I'm just assuming you guys have this level of knowledge, right? If this is not understandable, so you just have to focus on the CCNA, because these are the just not the firewall stuff. This is just routing switching stuff. So two VLAN I created, and I put on these two port as the access port, because these are the end user port which is connected on the PCs. So I just act as an access port. Now we have to talk about how my firewall, means how my switch will process these two VLAN through the trunk port to the firewall, and firewall is going to understand. So for this port, we have to enable the encapsulation .1q, right? Means 802.1q, and we have to allow these two VLAN on this port so that firewall can also make the trunk negotiation whilst I configure this port as a trunk. So let me do that. So I'll go in the configuration T again. After going in the configuration T, I'll go in the interface, gig 0 by 0, and I'll put the switch port trunk encapsulation .1q. This is the first command. And I'll put the switch port mode trunk and switch port trunk allowed VLAN. I can put 10 and 20. These two VLAN I need to pass, and I'll do the configuration right. So my job has been done here.
सर वेट यहाँ पे जो आपने अलाउ VLAN 10 20 किया है फॉर एग्जांपल, बट if I'm not run this command, then it will also packet forward or not, sir?
Definitely, it will open trunk. All VLAN traffic is going to process
या
by
मीन
default. It's become the open
यहाँ
trunk.
पे
This is a closed
मतलब
trunk.
आपने डिफाइन कर दिया कि ओनली 10 and 20 का डेटा फॉरवर्ड करेगा और
Right.
उसके अलावा किसी का फॉरवर्ड नहीं करेगा, राइट? ओके ओके, थैंक यू.
So now we done with this communication, and if I try to ping 10 to 20, it is not going to work because they are not reachable. So if I from 10 to I'll try to ping 20 PC, see it is not working. And similarly, if I'm going to 20 to 10, it is also not going to work because firewall in between switch is not able to understand what is going to be happen here. So how we can do the inter-VLAN routing on the firewall, right? So let me go on the firewall. I will log into the firewall. It's very easy, guys. I will go here and it's a FortiGate firewall. You can see that. So which interface we have? So interface is a 4, but we have to create two VLANs here. So, oh, I make one mistake. 10 already I use here, no? No, let me delete it. Okay, let me delete it. So redundant case, we just use that. So we just have to remove the revision number, and let me go here and delete this VLAN first. Okay. Now we don't have any port here. So now I'm going to create the VLANs again because we have done the redundant link configuration. We are good with that. So I'll get two VLANs. So I'll go in the interface and I put this is the VLAN 10. And what is the trunking protocol? This is the same protocol. And which port this VLAN is going to be associated? This port 4. So I will go and select the port 4. And what is the VLAN ID? The VLAN ID is 10. And what is the IP I'm going to define here? So the IP I'm going to put 10.10.10.1/24. Clear? I will enable ping. If I want to do a HTTPS SSH, I can do that also. And I believe all good. I can click OK. So one VLAN has been created. You can see on port one VLAN has been created. Now I have to do another VLAN configuration. So I'll go here and I'll just go here and create the VLAN 20. This is the same port. VLAN ID this time 20. The IP I will go here 2021/24. Ping. OK. And this is also done. So my both interface configuration has been done for the VLAN point of view. So let me check if I created the interface and map with this particular port, these two VLAN are part of this particular port without any further communication. Let me see whether these PCs are able to ping the gateway or not, because we allow the trunking here. This port has been configured on the access port for the VLAN 10. This port has been configured the access port for VLAN 20. This port has been configured for the trunk port where we pass the VLAN 10 and 20. Here we created the VLAN 10 and 20 and map with this particular port. So let me try to see whether my gateway is reachable or not, because we configured the gateway IP address. Then we'll check the another PC to another PC IP address. So ping here 20.20.20.1. See, it is reachable. Okay. So the first step is good. Now go in the VPC 6 and ping this gateway. So 10.10.1. It is also pingable. So now I'm able to ping from PC to gateway. So can I ping to one PC to another PC or not? Any guess? Tell me, guys. I will ping or not?
Maybe no, sir.
And why
Ping.
not? What is the reason?
Because in router scenario need to, I don't know, sir.
Pradeep, you?
No idea, sir.
Okay, so the reason is, see guys, we have the means first firewall is going to work in three things. Firewall always going to check first, that is a routing. Second, the NAT policy. Third, the security policy. So you guys tell me first thing, do we have routing to reach from this PC to this PC or not? We don't have routing. Even you guys, it's a YouTube live also. So any user watching on the YouTube, I can see multiple users watching. So you guys can put your comment in the chat as well if you want to contribute. So just let me know the routing is there or not. First thing. The first criteria to make the communication to have the routing. Do you have routing to access from this PC to this PC or not?
No, sir.
One no. What? Another? Yes, no?
No.
No.
No,
How many we have the routing? How many routing we have? Can you tell me? Routing protocols. What all know that?
There are many types of routing protocol, but
First
static,
tell me. What is
like
the first?
static routing,
DHCP.
dynamic routing.
And what is dynamic routing? What all? RIP,
Yeah, RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, like that.
BGP, EIGRP, OSPF. Have you heard about any connected route?
Connected route.
Have you heard about that? Connected route?
It means, sir, static.
No, study is something different. Connected is something different.
Maybe default.
No, default. Default is also different.
Okay. Then no idea, sir.
Pradeep, you?
The same year, so no idea.
कैसे काम चलेगा? How it is going to work if you don't know the connected route? Okay, no worry. So see, we always learn and always institute or might be the mentor, your trainer is going to talk about the routing, and they always discuss about the static routing. They talk about the default routing. They talk about the dynamic routing, right? Like RIP, they are going to talk about the OSPF, they are talk about the BGP, like EIGRP, blah blah, ISIS, but they never talk about the connected route. Do you know what is the AD value of this static route?
Yes, one, sir.
And which route AD value is 0? Do you know that? Any route we have which AD value is 0?
Yes, it connected route.
So we have some routing, right? That's connected route also. So definitely. So connected route is those route. Let's suppose I have the router. I have 3 interfaces, right? Or 4 interfaces. On this interface, I define 10.10.10.1/24. And this 20, this 30, this 40. So all are going to create a routing within the routing table. That is known as a connected route. Means by default, you configure the route within the firewall. That is the connected route. So let me show you how it is going to look like. So if yesterday I configure on this switch, one of the SBI, right?
Sir, but do one thing before moving the connected route. Can you explain port 4 configuration on
What?
firewall? On firewall.
What do you want to learn?
Port 4 configuration, can you show me again?
We'll discuss port forwarding configuration. We'll not discuss it, right? We'll
No,
discuss
no,
it.
no, no, no. I'm talking about like before you explain uh, port 4 configuration, port number 4.
Okay. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Here you see that this is the route we connected. This is C. C is the connected route. You can see directly
Yes.
connected route. You can see.
Yes.
And if I just configure one of the, just I'm showing the route. Like this is the default route. So if you just go there, Just dummy route I configured.
Null, what is the meaning, sir? Null?
Null. You can see this is static. You can see. So we have the different route, and different route, we have the different AD values. So in routing table, always route which you're going to configure, like we have configured this route, show IP interface brief. So this route is going to act as a connected route is VLAN 10. Now if we go in the firewall again, so we created the no configuration on the port 4, but under port 4 we configured these two VLANs. So these two are going to act as a connected route. Clear? So if I'm going in the routing, if you see in the routing, go in the dashboard and go in the network. And if you check in the routing table in network, so you're going to see that these all route are the connected route. You can see this is one of the static route, upper one, and these three are the connected route. So do you have the routing or not? I want to talk from this PC to this PC. So this firewall have route or not?
सर फायरवॉल का कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नहीं समझा सर.
So what I'm trying to say, firewall is going to by default create a route whenever you're going to configure any VLAN, any interface IP address. Okay. And they are going to create a routing table within the firewall routing engine. All right. You got this portion or not? You got this portion or not? If you're going to configure, and do you know how to configure the VLANs?
Yes.
So if you configure the VLANs, 10 VLAN, you configure a 5 VLAN, it will show in the routing table, na? VLANs, routes. Nashad, it will show or not show?
Yes, sure, sir.
So same concept is here. I show you the switch. If I configuring any VLAN, it is showing in my connected route as a routing table.
Okay.
So same app, if I am doing in the firewall, I configure two VLANs. So they are showing as a connected route because it's configured on the firewall itself.
Okay, that's why directly connected here showing. It means you are saying.
Yes. So same concept. So now we have this kind of the route 10 and 20.
Means यहाँ पे connected show कर रहा है. It means this configuration on firewall, that's why showing connected है. Otherwise static और dynamic any routing protocol अगर configure करते तो यहाँ पे वैसा दिख के आता है क्या?
Yes, definitely. You can see the static is written, no? You can see here.
Yes.
Static is written because we put the default route pointing to here. These are the network. There is no default gateway 00, and these are the connected routes. Okay.
So if I am configure like EIGRP OSPF, then also showing in the tag box like OSPF BGP like that.
Definitely, it is going to show in that way only.
Okay, then got it. Thank you.
Got it.
Yes.
So now let me go next step. So we have the routing. The first policy has been made. So routing is there. NAT is not going to be required because you don't have to go on the internet. So the second step is policy is there or not. So definitely we don't have the policy. So we have to create some policy. So how I can create the policy? By default, you go in the policy and the firewall policy, everything is getting denied, right? So because of this reason, your traffic is not processing via the firewall. So you have to create the policy to allow the communication from this VLAN to this VLAN, right? Then only they are going to allow the communication. If you are not going to allow the communication, it will never ping your communication. So if I keep pinging, it will never ping your one source to another destination. Say it is not pinging. But the moment I'll create the policy. So first I want to ping from 10 to 20. So I need to create one policy to allow my communication from VLAN 10 to VLAN 20. So this is the one flow. If I want to ping from 20 to 10, then I need to create another policy flow 2 because it's a session-based firewall, right? So session-based firewall, it will always allow the unidirectional communications when you are going to originate the traffic from one PC to another PC. So based on your unidirectional communication, your responder is going to reply you based on your policy set. But if you are going to initiate the traffic from the responder to initiator again, then it will not allow. You have to create the another policy. This is the session-based firewall basic concept, and you have to always know about this. So let me go on the firewall, and here I'll go in a create, and this time I'm going to create VLAN 10 to VLAN 20 policy. Okay, this is my policy. What is my incoming interface? That is a VLAN 10. Okay. What is my outgoing interface? That is a VLAN 20, because I want to make the communication from VLAN 10 to 20. What is my source IP address? Source IP address 10.10./24. So I can define the source IP address here. I don't have any source, so I can create the new subnet here, and I can create the address, and I can put the VLAN 10, and here I can put the subnet. Whole subnet I want to allow 0/24. Interface you can define, leave it any for time being, nothing is going to require. So you can see this is the VLAN 10 has been created. Select destination. So you can see destination subnet already it is showing 20 address. So you can call it here. If you want to create like this, you can create that also. So we can use the already address is there. By default, it's created. So I can simply use that. Now, third thing it is asking schedule, means when these policy need to be activated. It is you want to activate on some particular time, means reschedule. You want to like not schedule this policy, right? Sorry. If I click the always, you can see it's always, none, and all. So I can activate this policy for the lifetime, always. So this policy is going to be activated for me. Now it is asking the policy, means services, means layer 4 services. Which kind of services you want to allow in this particular policy? So I want to ping. So I should allow the ICMP traffic by default, right? For ping traffic. But if I want to do telnet SSH, then again I have to create the port for telnet and SSH. So for timing, I can allow for all services. That is going to be allowed. Inspection mode will live as a flow base. Action should be accepted. We'll understand what is the flow base, what is the proxy base configuration. And NAT should be not be allowed here. NAT should be disabled here in policy. And these all options should be disabled, because we have to understand what is a NAT, what is these all options are going to be there. And finally, policy should be enabled and create OK. So my one policy has been created from 10 to 20. So let me try to see now whether my PC 10 is able to reach to 20 or not. So now if I'll check here, show IP, we have this kind of the configuration. If I just try to ping here, 20, see, I'm able to reach that. So my communication is processing via the firewall. Let me show you the live traffic also. If I want to check the live traffic in the firewall, so you go in the dashboard and see here, US traffic is processing from this source. And if you want to check the destination, you can see this destination traffic is going on, right? So in overall, in my dashboard, I can see the traffic is processing. And you can see CPU processing and all, and session has been created also. Some session has been created and ICMP packet is processing here. So easily I can see some traffic is.
Session का basic use क्या है? What is the use of session and what is the meaning?
I'll come on that. Okay. First understand this layer 2 deployment. I'll discuss more detail in sessions. Okay. What is the use of session? So here its log is not showing. We have to enable some license feature, then it is going to show that. But for timing, we can see the in dashboard, we have this routing, and I want to see the source view and all. I have this source details, which is creating the traffic, and it is going to destination. We can see that also, right? And 40 view sessions, if I'm going that, you can see this all session has been created from this source to this destinations. Session is very important, is for the next generation firewall. And without session, your traffic is not going to process. So one is the a stateful firewall is a stateless firewall. So I'll have the separate discussion of how the stateful firewall is going to do the packet processing, how the stateless firewall is going to do the packet processing. and when session is going to come in a picture. So hold your thoughts. I'll discuss in upcoming sessions. So now you can see we have the communication, but if I just try to do the reverse packet communication, it is not going to work. So let me go on this PC and try to ping still. See, the ping is not working because it's my session-based firewall. It required the sessions for the forward and reverse traffic. So my rule is not available for the reverse directions. So I'll simply go here and I'll go in the policy. After going in policy, I'll simply create the new policy, or I can just simply use and I can clone reverse. I want to just reverse this policy from VLAN 10 to 20. So whatever the parameter is there, it is going to reverse, or I can create the new policy from here. So I can put here VLAN 20 to VLAN 10 policy. All right. So this is going to be there. Incoming interface, this time it is going to be 20 and outgoing interface 10. Source is your, this time is 20 and destination is going to be 10, right? Services, you can just use all, NAT is not required. Enable OK.
सर यहाँ पे जो इंस्पेक्शन मोड दिखा रहा है वो उसका मतलब क्या है सर?
I told na, inspection mode I'll discuss. Flow-based proxy, these are the concept you have to understand, but leave it for time being default. You understand how the processing is happening. I'll discuss this all in very detail. Flow-based, inspection-based, what is going to happen, what does mean. I'll explain these all things, okay? Even NAT I will explain these. Everything is going to be explained. SL inspection, why it is going to be used. But first you understand how the layer 2 processing is happening here. Clear?
Oh.
So time being, you just understand how my VLAN we are doing the lab for the inter-VLAN routing. So you have to focus for time being how inter-VLAN routing is going to process by the firewall. When I do for the special discussion for the packet level, then we understand with the inspection mode, what is the flow-based inspection, what is the proxy-based inspections, what is the sessions, what is the NAT, how many type of NAT we have, how NAT is going to be initiated. So we have a different topology. We'll discuss on that. Just hold for time being. Okay, no sir?
Okay. नहीं सर यहाँ पे वो सब मोड का यूज कर रहे थे, that's why I'm asking.
I told, right? We leave default, right? But there is a catch here. I'll put a special session on it. So now if I just did this policy configuration, and if I'm going on this particular firewall again and try to ping, see my traffic start working from the reverse as well. So now I have the forward traffic and reverse traffic via the inter-VLAN routing. And if I go here again in the dashboard and check the sessions, you see my traffic has been initiated for 10 to 20 to 10 now this time. And this is the ICMP traffic and it's all working fine. So this is how I can achieve the inter-VLAN routing. Did you guys understand for the inter-VLAN? Means how even my FortiGate firewall can do the inter-VLAN routing? Like switch can do the same thing, how it is going to happen for the firewall. So firewall, you have to create the VLANs 10 and 20. VLAN need to map on the port 4. And then routing is going to be by default created as a connected route. And next policy is going to be required from allow the traffic 10 to 20 and 20 to 10. That's all. Clear? Okay. Yes, no, maybe. You guys give me the anything? I consider yes, you guys understand?
Yes.
Okay, let me off this wrap. Okay, let me build your basic understanding step by step, then we'll go for the next firewall level. We've not started the firewall deep concept. We are just discussing about the basic features. Now I have another lab. Okay, this is the other lab, okay? Similar kind of a labs here, but this lab have the DHCP server configured. Again, this is the inter-VLAN routing only. We have the 10, 20 VLAN, right? But in this, we have the DHCP server also. So let's suppose you have to enable the DHCP services on the firewall. Then how you can do that? Means You don't want to assign the manual IP address on the firewall. You want to get the IP address from the DHCP server. Then how this feature is going to be integrated by the using of the FortiGate firewall. That also you should understand. So let's understand how the DHCP configuration is going to be happen. By the way, you guys know what is DHCP? Nasad, you know what is DHCP? Pradeep?
Yes, sir. Means DHCP used for dynamically assign IP address for all users in the network which is connected.
And how it is work?
Like using DORA process.
What is DORA process?
DORA process, it means whenever connected any new user in the network in that time, firstly use DORA process. It means क्या बोलते हैं उसको?
I have special attention on you because you are still hunting for the job, right? If I'm not wrong, I have a special feedback for you. Naushad,
Okay, sir. Yes.
you're hunting for a job, right?
Yes.
So you should know each and everything, CCNA level. What is DORA process? If you're going to be asked for the interview, still it's not the CCNA class, CCNP class, but I want you should know about it. Pradeep, you know what is DORA process?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what is DORA process?
Yes, sir. DORA stand for no. So I can't explain, but
Hindi में बता दो. Let's go in Hindi. Explain Hindi. I'll understand in English. No need to worry. You just explain your own language.
okay.
आप लोग इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन भी करानी पड़ेगा. What I'm thinking. मेरे स्टूडेंट्स हो, you should be champion. You should know each and everything.
Yes. सर जैसे कोई अपने सिस्टम को आईपी चाहिए रहेगा तो उसके लिए जो मेन राउटिंग से उसको आईपी ऑटोमेटिक असाइन हो जाएगा सर.
But how the process is going to work? What is DORA process? If it is going to ask for your interview, then how you're going to answer that? If you not answer me, then how you're going to answer to your interviewer? Because these are the CCNA level of concept. What is DORA process?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सर सिस्टम जो एक आईपी डिस्कवर करेगा then sir I can't explain properly right
Okay,
now.
no worry. Let me explain. So DORA is basically a process to get the IP address. So two type of assignment of the IP address. One is we can define the IP address statically, right? Static IP assignment. But let's say suppose I have the thousands of users in my company, then is it possible I can go every day and assign the IP address statically? It's not possible, right? So we have the another process that is a DHCP, which is dynamic host control protocol. It's a protocol by using this control protocol, we can assign the IP address dynamically to the all users. So when this protocol is going to be run, they follow the process that is known as DORA. D is equal to you have to do the discover.
What?
O is equal to you have to offer, right? Who is going to offer? Let me explain. R is equal to you have to request. A equal to you have to acknowledge. So when DORA is going to be started, let's suppose this is your client PC. It want to get an IP address, so it will go to a DHCP server. So the first it will send the broadcast request. Hey, and anyone available in my network in a DHCP server? So this is always go with a discovery message, while a D message. Based on discovery message, the server is going to reply back to the client, again PCA, with the offer message. Yes, I am available here and this is my details. Then based on his request, right, PC is going to, again PC A is going to put the request. Yes, I need some kind of the IP. Can you just give me? So client will request for the IP, and based on client request, it will give the IP and it will acknowledge that. So this is known as DORA process. And let me show you how it is going to look like. Let me go, because my diagram is bad. So if I go on the Google, right, and if you search the DORA process, So you are going to find in the image here, see. So we have the different kind of the messages. So there is a client send the broadcast message, yes, to DHCP server. DHCP server is send the unicast message as your offer, and based on that, it will request for the IP address. Finally, it will get the IP address and it will send the acknowledgement. Yes, I have the IP address, and you get the IP address. We are good to just do all the communication. So please, guys, brush up your knowledge, right? It's not a CCNA class, but you should know about the CCNA level of knowledge, right? Now we are discussing how the feature is going to integrated with the FortiGate Firewall with the DORA. So let me open this PC. This PC and this PC, they already Inter-VLAN routing is running here, right? And let me see. So let me go on the interface. So see here, we have these ports, and this port 1020 VLAN is configured, right? And there is two ways to get the IP address. So one is I can assign the DHCP on this particular VLAN itself. So they will get an IP address from directly from the PC. So this PC will get IP address directly from the server. So let me do that. So if I want to assign the DHCP, so I will go in the DHCP server here. Let's suppose DHCP is now enabled. Let me just do that in this way, and let me disable that. So I'll go in the both VLANs and I'll disable the DHCP servers. So now this PC is not getting any IP address. Let me show here. CMD IP config, and let me release is old IP address. So this has been released. So if you check the IP config, there is no IP address now. So if I go CMD here again and IP config, and let me release. This IP has been released. And if I put again IP config, there is no IP address. First thing, whenever your PC configured, the NIC card should be set as the IP assignment method as a DHCP, not the static one. So how can you do that? You have to go in the property IPv4 and you have to select this obtain IP address automatically. So this will keep trying to get IP address automatically if my DHCP server is available in my network. So in this situation, I don't have any DHCP server. So these PC are not getting any IP address. You can see in this PC also, if I'm going that, if I'm just clicking on the network sections, and after clicking in network section, I'm going to network adapters. I'm going on that properties. This property, I have the configuration, but these are also not getting any IP address. So means definitely this is going to show you whether IP is getting or not. So you can see it's getting APIPA IP address. This 169 address is the APIPA IP address. Mawaika, we understand this? Mawaika? I believe he is on mute. So there is also APIPA IP address. Now we have to turn to enable that DHCP server. So there is two ways. My firewall can be act as a DHCP server, or I can integrate some third-party DHCP server in my FortiGate firewall. So if I want to make my firewall as a DHCP server, then what is the process? And if I want to integrate my data center remote side DHCP server, likewise the IP helper. IP helper, you heard about Nosad or Pradeep or Mawaika? Anyone? IP helper?
Yeah, you all did. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So let me go here and try to do the first simulation. In first simulation, my firewall itself is going to act as a DHCP server. And by using these DHCP server, VLAN 10 and 20 will get the IP address from here to here, right? So let me enable first. So I'll go in the FortiGate firewall. I'll go in the VLAN 10. And here you have to go down and you will find under the VLAN 10 configuration, similar to any interface also, you're going to get the similar configuration. If interface is a layer 3 interface. So I'll select the DHCP server and I will assign the address range. It's by default assign. Whenever you create whatever network you configure, by default, it will exclude your SBI IP address and will assign the rest as your pool. So here it has been assigned IP address, but it should be disabled. It is disabled, so you should enable it. So now your DHCP server is enabled and your PC is going to get IP address from this range, net mask from this range, and what is the default gateway? Default gateway, there is two options. You want to specify your own address, then it is going to give your own address. If you want to use same as an interface address, so what is my interface address? That is 10.10.1. So it will get the same IP address. Net mask, already we defined. DNS, I want to give a same as system, means whatever DNS IP address available on the firewall, the same DNS is going to be available, then it's fine. Then I'll click OK. So job has been done for the VLAN 10. Similarly for VLAN 20, I will go down, create a DHCP, enable, same, nothing change. I'll click OK. The job has been done. Now if I go, already I created the policy, Inter-VLAN routing. So policy already we created for this, any, just for testing. So let me see my PC is getting IP address now. So let me renew the IP address. So I renew this IP address. Renew this IP address. See, this PC get the IP address automatically, 12. Okay, and this also get the 22 IP address. So if I just try to ping 10.10.12, let me see. 12. Okay, let me ping from here to there. 20.22. Let me ping first gateway. Maybe policy I make some mistake. So let me ping here gateway is reachable or not. So gateway is fine. Let me ping 2021. So my policy is wrongly configured. So let me just fine tune the policy here. So I'll make the communication. The incoming port is a VLAN 10. Outgoing port is my, okay, policy was wrong, right? So this is a VLAN 20 and all in all. So this was the only issue. It was not ping. Policy was wrongly configured. So now if I just go and ping again, say it is a start working. And if I just ping 22 also, it is also start working. So one side policy I created, so it start working. If I want to do the reverse policy, see it is not working. So I have to do the reverse. How can you do that? Simply click on this policy, go in that and clone reverse. You just have to change the name as well here. So here you have to put VLAN 20 to VLAN 10. So your reverse policy is ready. And also you will start pinging from the reverse direction as well. So policy is disabled. Let me see if I make any mistake. Outgoing enter with this all. So accept all. Let me open the policy. See, policy is not enable. It's a disable, right? So you have to enable it from here. So it was not enabled. Let me try again. And now you have the accessibility. So whenever you do the policy configuration, you make sure the policy is enabled. How you can check that? You just go in the down and below down, you can check the policy is enable or disable, and you can do the configuration, right? Now, when my firewall is DHCP server, then this is how configuration is going to happen. But let's say suppose I have some external DHCP server, right? Let's suppose this is my DHCP server. And in this DHCP server, I have some DHCP configuration for the VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. The pool has been created. See, I already created the pool, I exclude the IP address for 10 and 20. I create a VLAN 10 and 20. I define the default gateway. VLAN 20, 10 means VLAN 20, subnet mask, DNS address, default gateway. So I just configured my external Cisco router as a DHCP server. And now my firewall FortiGate is going to act as a relay agent. And based on that relay agent, it will trigger the traffic from my firewall to the DHCP server, and DHCP server is going to reply back as a my IP address. So how it is going to happen? So in this situation, first you have to go again in this particular network configuration, interface configuration. You have to go in the port 2 again. In this port 2, sorry, I will go in the VLAN 10, you go there, and DHCP server should be enabled, but you have to go in the advanced, and here you have to change the mode from server to relay. So once you do that, your above configuration will be disappear. Means whatever configuration you have done, that is going to be removed. Not removed, it is going to be out of effect. So I will configure the relay. And what is my relay IP address? This is my relay IP address. Means DHCP server IP address. Let me show you. So this is my DHCP server address, and I have the routing reachability, reverse route and connected route is there. If you see here, show IP route. They are the basic things, right? Means how the reachability is there. I'm just showing the features, how the firewall is going to do the feature. But I'm showing the same type of configuration. You want to do the reverse route configuration. So any request is coming from this PC, it will go to this DHCP server. So have the reverse routing as well to return back to the firewall, right? So that's why here I use the static default route to just make the under reachability from my 10 subnet and 20 subnet to DHCP server. Unless we have the ping reachability not available, we cannot achieve the DHCP connectivity. So DHCP configuration, you can just take a snip. This is DHCP configuration. This is the routing I have done. This is my interface configuration. You can see here. So based on this interface configuration, just only this configuration available in the router, nothing more than that. Firewall, you have to go here and put the DHCP server IP address. So we have this server IP address. Put it, nothing else is going to require. Just click OK. Your job has been done for VLAN 10, right? If you go in the VLAN 20, right? You also go in DHCP server, go in the advanced feature, click on the relay. Again, you put the same IP address. Your job has been done. But the policy is not there. Okay, policy is not there. Policy earlier was VLAN 10 and 20. But now VLAN 10 and 20, they can communicate. But what about the policy to go from this VLAN 10 to DHCP server? It will never get an IP address without the policy. See, let me go on the PC. If I'm going into PC and I just check in the IP config, we have the old IP address. But if I release this IP address, configuration gone, right? So this is also lost the all IP configuration. And if I just trying to renew now, it will not going to get an IP address. See here, it will not going to get an IP address. So no IP is coming to me. So basically, we cannot. Why its IP is coming? Release. We don't have DHCP server, right? Release. So you see, now it's getting the start Apipa IP address, no real IP address it's getting. So maybe it was the like some issue. And mistaken, they have the cache and getting the IP address, but should we not get an IP address? Definitely it will not get an IP address because we don't have DHCP server configured local to the firewall. And if I want to go on my DHCP server, which are hosted like externally, so my IP should be come from this range only. You can see this range IP should come. Means first to 11, the PC should not get an IP address. From 12, it should get an IP address. And similarly, from 20 to 21, it is there. From 22, it will get the IP address. But we don't have any policy here from the VLAN 10 to VLAN like port 4. Here is a port 4 that is configured. There is no any policy available. So we have to create a policy, and let me what's coming the policy ID. VLAN 10 to DHCP server. This is my policy. Incoming interface definitely VLAN 10 and outgoing interface the port 4, that is the DHCP server. Okay, so this is done. All services. For timing, I'm going to put all. Destination is my, just leave it all for timing because we just want to use all and all. NAT not required. Done. So this has been done. Similarly, I can just copy this and I can paste it. So another policy just below I want to paste, and this time this is going to be VLAN 20 to DHCP server.
सर ये पेस्ट किधर से किया आपने?
मैं बता रहा हूँ. Give me 1 minute. बता रहा हूँ. So this is server default all. So simply if you want to copy and paste, so just इसको आप copy करो यहाँ से, right? और जहाँ paste करना, you just have to click there and paste it. You have to get the paste. It will ask you want to paste above or below. So based on your requirement, you can just paste it. Okay, Nasad? Nashad, you get it or not?
Okay sir, okay.
Just click on it, copy. जहाँ paste करना, whatever you want to paste it. It will ask below or above. It will just ask that. You just do that. So now I have this kind of the configuration. I just allowed my policy. Even let me see, this is allowed or not. This policy is not enabled. Let me enable that also. So we have the policy VLAN 10 to DHCP server, LAN to DHCP server. This is the policy which is creating a problem and IP was getting here. And this is basically this is not required. So let me delete that. Okay, leave it, no problem. We're just doing a test. Let me show you how it is going to get an IP address. So now if I'm going here and renew IP address, you're getting 12 IP address it is getting here. And here I'll renew that. It will also get an IP address from 20 series. So see, it's getting 22 IP address. So if I'm going on a DHCP server now, and if I run the command show IP DHCP binding, you see these two PC are getting the IP address from after exclude range. So if I change the exclude range for some reason, let me just change this exclude range. Just for the fun purpose, let me put 111, right? And let me put this one as a 2 means this one, right? So you will see that after renew, the IP will be the change. So I'll just remove this. So now we have this exclude range and also this exclude range. So let me remove this one. It is not required now. So no required. It is also going to be not required. Right. So this has been done. So we just have the 2 DHCP assign policy show run section DHCP. And this is the range. So now if I'm going on the PC2, so this time I will get IP address after 111 the 10 subnet, and I will get the IP address after 211 from the 20 subnet. So let me go on the PC4 and I will release first the IP address. So release the IP address, I renew that again. Let me go here, release the IP address and renew it. And you see here magic. See, it assigned the IP address 112. Get it? So now my firewall is acting as a DHCP relay agent, as a helper IP address. You must be done about the configuration for the Cisco helper IP address configuration on the interface, L3 interface or VLANs. Same concept it is using here. And if I go in the PC4, here you are getting 212 IP address. Clear, guys? You guys understand how DHCP can be even configured on the interface, firewall level, and how I can integrate third-party DHCP interface as well. So these are still small things you should know. One more class is going to be required where I have to talk about the basic things. Then we'll move actual firewall part, right? Especially 1 week more required where we have to understand the interface, all interface type configuration, some DNS, DHCP configuration. Because these are the basic setup is always going to be required when you're going to do any configuration. So you should know how this feature can be accessed in the FortiGate firewall and how I can leverage this all feature to do my all configuration and all. So I'll be closed today if you all agree.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, till now is okay, but my question is like any kind of new configuration, then also after configuration need to edit policy, sir, based on configuration.
What I didn't get you. Can you repeat again?
Means my question is like any kind of new configuration on firewall, then after configuration need to change in policy also. Yeah, edit in the policy.
Yes, we can do that based on requirement. We can change the policy, we can edit the policy, we can fine tune the policy. It's absolutely possible and it's absolutely it is going to require.
Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. ओके सर। और ये तीन आपने जो रूल्स बताए कि मतलब फायरवॉल में थ्री काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन वेन एवर फेल द कम्युनिकेशन, तो ये राउटिंग नेट और पॉलिसी ये तीन चीज का ज्यादा रिक्वायरमेंट होता है, मतलब ये बेसिक।
ये चाहिए without this it is not going to work anything. It is a mandatory thing. It is always going to require three things. Routing NAT might be it is not going to required when you have the LAN to LAN communication, but if you have to LAN to WAN communication, NAT is also going to require. But two things, policy and routing, it's must require.
Okay, okay. Means it is also need to real scenario also use this kind of issue. Whenever the source or destination in between not communication happen in that scenario, firstly we can check like these three kind of rules, right?
Right.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, thank you sir.
Thank you guys.
और
More
सर एक ये और बोलने का था, हम लोगों को अभी तक रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं मिल रहा है सर, मतलब जो भी हमारा।
definitely you'll get today only you'll get maximum tomorrow. There's festive season, some people are on the leave, okay? You know that, no, Sad. The Sara is running, right? So
Okay.
that's why you're getting delay, but definitely you'll get tomorrow. I'm on top of it.
No worry, no worry, no worry. Okay.
Okay?
Thank
See
you.
you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.